Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hallmark Guy Podcast. I am Baptiste, the Hallmark Guy, and I'm back with a new recap and review of a 2025 Hallmark Channel's Countdown to Christmas movie we made in December. Before we get into the movie, this is the first episode I'm recording since going to weekend two of the Hallmark Christmas experience in Kansas City. That's why I have my Hallmark Plus lanyard that lights up because I had events that I was going to for that weekend, and so that was my badge with my QR code to access the events. The lanyard lights up in different ways, and I'm gonna get a new one this weekend because I just added to get to an event for weekend three. But why am I wearing this is because it was set. I'll do a video about the Hallmark Christmas experience when it's done. Um, it was such a wonderful, magical experience. If you're a Hallmark fan and this is really your thing, it's magic. I don't really have words to explain what this weekend meant and what it was, but it's engraved in my memory. I've been saying, and I was so proud to be wearing that lanyard this past weekend, along with hundreds of other Hallmark fans that I would see inside the Westin Hotel where the panels and the shows were going on, or in the square where there's a Christmas tree and everything. I was so proud to be wearing the lanyard and with my badge, and on my way home on Sunday, the day I had the events, I had to stop at Target to get some things. I was like, I'm not taking it off. I'm too proud to be wearing it. During one of the panels I've been to was How We Make Movies, and Jonathan Bennett was one of the stars in the panel, and he said that before people were asking him, "What are you doing?" He says, "Well, I'm an actor," and he now says, "I work for Hallmark," because there's some pride in it, and it's such a special brand with such special people and special community with fans because the experience is amazing because also of the fans, the community, everyone's amazing. But there's something so special about working for Hallmark that now he's not saying I'm an actor, he's like, I'm working for Hallmark. And that kind of the feeling I had when I was walking around with the lanyard and the badge and the Hallmark Christmas experience, and then a Target like a few miles away from the Hallmark Christmas experience, not even in the same city anymore. But I was like, first of all, I didn't want the experience to end, but I was like, I was proud to be wearing it. So that's why I said, you know what? I'll wear it for this episode. I'm just going to turn it off though, so that I'm not flashing around. But yeah, look forward to a video probably recapping the Hallmark Christmas Experience 2025. I'll be going to weekend three. I won't be going to weekend four, so I don't really know when I'll record, but look forward to probably a video about that. That being said, now without further ado, let's get into We Met in December. It premiered on Thursday, November 27th, 2025 at 8, 7 Central on Hallmark Channel as part of Merry Thanksgiving Weekend. It was the first movie of the weekend. It was a Thanksgiving movie. Um, yeah, it's November 27th. I'm recording this on December 11th. Thanksgiving weekend is 7 new movies. I still have 2 from that weekend to watch. And now another weekend premiered, so I will caught up with 1 on that one. I'm recording right after, so I'll be dressed the same for She's Making a List. But yeah, I'm getting there, but yeah, it's taking some time to recap the movies and all that. But I want all the movies to be able to be available to you. So yeah. We Met in December starred Autumn Reeser in Niall Matter. I was really excited to get an Autumn Reeser movie because she had not had a Christmas one in a while. I checked. In fact, her last Christmas movie was A Glenbrook Christmas in 2020. And it feels like it has been a while since we have seen her on the channel in general because her last movie was Junebug during Summer Nights in 2024. But before that, it was the second wave of the Wedding Veil movies at the beginning of 2023. And she was such a staple on the channel before that it feels like ages since we last saw her, even though we saw her like a year and a half ago. It felt longer to me. So when they announced a movie with her, I was like, oh, a new movie with Autumn. And it's like for years, like he's like, oh no, it's just been a year, but apparently in my mind it felt like more. So yeah, I was really excited about that. Now the movie. The movie starts with Annie and Dave walking hand in hand back to their rooms in a hotel. They have spent all night together in the lobby and the bar of the hotel, but it sounds like they have just met each other, but really like each other, and are planning on getting to know each other more the next day on the plane. The next day, Annie has to leave the hotel to make her flight, but Dave is not there, and the lobby cannot call him because she does not know his last name or his room number. She just knows he is from Chicago, and they did not exchange contact info because they thought they would have time during on the plane during the plane ride. So she asked the receptionist to give him her number when he comes down. Dave actually overslept because he set his alarm for 7 p.m. instead of 7 a.m. To leave faster, he checks out online and never stops by the lobby, in the reception lobby. In Chicago, they try. He woke up at 9 a.m. By the way, missed the plane. In Chicago. So I'm sorry. This is one of those words. I never know how to pronounce Chicago. So it's gonna be Chicago. No, not Chicago. Not but I felt like the first time I pronounced it right, and I feel like this is terrible. So in Chicago, that was good. They tried looking each other up online, but there are a lot of people with the same first name and job. Dave is in finance, and Annie is a lawyer at a fashion designer. We learned that Annie, that's what's going on today. We learned that Annie was able to meet Dave thanks to a weather delay, and we are taking back to the hotel. So yeah, before I get continue, this movie is a lot of back and forth between present, and past. So that's gonna be fun to make you understand which timeline we're in. So we're going back to the hotel. We're going back to the past. They both get there at the same time at the hotel, and lightning struck right away when they tried to get into the building at the same time. They both got sent to this classy hotel because the airport hotels were full, and they learned that they are neighbors on the new plane the next day. During a complimentary dessert tasting, Dave reveals that it is his first Christmas without his father, so he is trying to recreate everything his family used to do when he was a kid, and he keeps a strict schedule. Annie reveals that being a lawyer for a fashion designer is not a dream, but she does not have time to dream. She's into fashion, she made a dress with her grandmother, but design is just a stress reliever because dreams do not pay the bills. Dave tells her that they can. You just have to take the idea in your head, and the execution is key. He encourages her to develop a plan and to take a gamble on herself. In present time, Annie does not have the courage to show her boss her designs, and Dave installed his family Christmas light to honor his dad. He has a very busy schedule, but will take some time off for all their activities. Dave thinks back to his time with Annie when he said that he does not take much time off because a lot of people count on him, so that is why he plans ahead. And he likes his perspective and he likes hers. He feels like it is meant to be. She says there is no way, no other place she would rather be. Back in the present, Dave decides to contact a PI to find Annie, and Annie started sketching again thanks to Dave, who reignited her creativity. She has also learned that Dave has never gotten her number, so she has to think of a plan B. Dave decides to make a list of all the things Annie loved about Christmas. She talked about that night, and she decides to make a list about all the things he does for Christmas for his family, so she will find his house. Her friend knows the house, or at least she thinks she does. So they decide to go, but they don't find it. It's not the house. Back to the past, Annie shows up to the hotel bar wearing the dress she made with her grandmother, and Dave is blown away by her. She tells him her grandmother left her sewing machine, but she never used it, and he tells her she needs to do it because she also designed a dress that she would have liked to do with her grandmother, but never got to do. Back in the present, Dave finds a place Annie takes her niece to get cocoa during Christmas, but she's not there, so he leaves them his number to give to her if she ever comes. And he has found an app where people help other people find people. So she made a post on it, but many people have apparently experienced the same thing as her. She has continued sketching, but she says that designing is tough. She thinks she has found Dave or David because on the app, someone named David asks to meet at the cocoa place. She goes, but it is actually an employee of someone named David who made the announcement, and David is not Annie's Dave because he has a British accent. So she leaves, and then we see that Dave's number is right there at the register, but she never stops by. They both try to call the airline, but they do not give out personal information. Back at home, Dave is being very specific on how each lawn decoration should be placed, and back at her apartment, Annie decides to open her grandma's sewing machine. Annie's niece mentioning the Youth City Choir reminds her of Dave telling her he goes see their Christmas concert every year. He then explained how he takes care of everyone, and she asked him, "Who takes care of you?" And he said, "Me, when I have the time." So she encourages him to take time for herself. And he has to take her niece to the show because her friend is in it, but Dave is not there. There actually is a second show to which Dave goes, hoping Penny remembers telling her about it, but it is full. Penny still shows up outside, but the door is locked, so she finds a way in through the employee entrance and just misses Dave, who gets out right at this moment. He does not see her outside, so tries to get back in, and since it is locked, he goes through the employee's entrance and again misses any leaving by a few seconds. Dave remembers Annie inviting him to go to church with her on Christmas Eve, so he said that he will go, but unfortunately, we learn that this year, due to the renovations, the service will be at another church. Annie's niece, recital costumer, quit, so um, Annie says she will do it. When trying to do the perfect Christmas for his family, Dave takes some activities like choosing the tree away from them. So he apologizes, take back the tree, and they go to a farm to get one as a family. It happens to be the one Annie told him she goes to. The cashier tells him he knows Annie and will give her a call to see if she's looking for Dave, but when looking for her number, he says he does not remember if he delivered the tree to her or her son, meaning it is not Dave's Annie. But it turns out Annie was in line with her niece to meet Santa just a few feet away. Of course, he didn't see her. Working on the kids' costumes makes Annie realize how much she likes it and that she is really good at it. But she still thinks it would not pay her mortgage, so her sister tells her that she will never know if she does not try. Later, Annie tells her friend that maybe she was just supposed to meet Dave to get back to sketching and that she does not want to be the girl who does not try anymore. We go back to the moment they say goodbye in the lobby. Dave got in the elevator, and before it fully closed, he stopped it, got out, and kissed her. Annie finally finished the dress she wanted to finish with her grandmother, and her friend encourages her to talk to her boss. And I missed the line where I'm reading right now. Nearby. She hears someone send a message on the radio, so she tries to send hers. At first, they say they have too much, but she convinces them to try to find room for hers. Dave feels lighter. He realized that he needed to stop and live in the moment, not hold on to the past. Dave has been looking at churches but did not find the one yet. While shopping, Dave's friend sees Annie's dress in Annie's friend Christmas market booth and loves it. Dave shows up to Annie's niece recital because his friend's daughter is in it. After the show, he sees her in the walls, goes after her, but loses her. The radio did not read Annie's message, and Dave's friends tell him that maybe she just came into his life to get him to this very place. And his sister tells her that Dave came into her life for a reason, and Annie is grateful for that because she's ready to take a chance on her. They both declare that the search is over. Dave tells his mom that he misses his dad and that he thinks that maybe he tried to make Christmas perfect because they wouldn't in Christmas perfect so they would not feel the loss. But his mom tells him it's okay to feel the loss. On Christmas Eve, Annie goes to see her boss to show her designs, and she tells her that the dress she made just sold. She asks her boss to mentor her and tells her that she eventually hopes to put a plan in place and not wonder what could have been. Her boss tells her she's very talented and she will mentor her. The radio actually reads Annie's message in which she tells Davis to meet her tonight in the park. At night, Annie waits and waits, but he does not come. So she decides to leave for church, but is happy for the experience because of all the good things that have happened in her life since then. At his friend's Christmas party, Dave notices his friend is wearing the dress Annie designed. She tells him where she got it. Dave goes to the Christmas market but gets there right as they close. Her church is right next to the market. He had tried that church, but to him it did not feel like it was the one. He goes in. The church is doing Annie's church tradition of singing Silent Night at candlelight. And without knowing it, he sits down right behind Annie. At the end of the song, the priest or pastor, tells them to stand up and wish their neighbors a Merry Christmas. And he turns around and is face to face with Dave. They go outside, and before they say anything, he gets her number. He calls her and pretends like they're not next to each other and he just got her number. He asks her on a date, and they say that now is perfect. They wish each other Merry Christmas and kiss, and that was We Met in December. So, um, I was excited about that movie because I like Autumn, I like Niall from Orchard Garden. That was the series of mystery movies that my mom and I would watch together all the time when they were making them. So I was excited. I like the idea of like they met and they never they lost each other and then they have to find each other again. It reminded me a lot though of the Nikki Loach and Warren Christie movie, from last year, which I believe was called Our Holiday Story, where they were the movie was them telling their son-in-law, future son-in-law, how they met. So that's kind of like, yeah, we met in December. That's how we met. That's kind of the same idea. A few things I've noted when Annie says, so she thinks she can find Dave's house because it's all decked out for Christmas, like all very decorated and all that. And I'm like, there can be just one house like that. She's like, I'm gonna find it because it will be that house. There cannot be just one house like that. There cannot. Um, I think that the snow looked really great. It snowed all the time in that movie. Snow, snow, snow. The snow falling looked really great. It just not did not feel like winter outside. So like you can see it sometime with the sun, the light. In summer, it's brighter. I felt like that. So yeah, I think we in the same weekend it was the second kind of who takes care of you? Well, me. And well, you should take time to prioritize yourself. We kind of had we had that discussion in that movie, and we also had the discussion in Christmas the Catnip Cafe. To open the weekend, the Women in December was the first movie of the weekend. Christmas is the Catnip Cafe was the final one of the weekend. So kind of like that was the I'm taking care of myself by myself, and I'm not taking time for me weekend. Um, During Silent Night at church, the sound was not synced just for like a few seconds with the mouth. So, or I mean, this maybe when they told him pretend to sing Silent Night for the shot, and they were singing, and then they did not sync it with the sound. I don't know. I noticed her mouth wasn't saying the right lyrics at the right time. The whole time I was looking forward for their reunion, and I don't know, I kind of felt underwhelming for me. Like she just turns around. Of course, the amateurs have to contain themselves and all that, but she turns around and like I was expecting that big thing, and I don't know, I wasn't feeling really emotional, and I, yeah, I was like, I was expecting a little more. Oh my God, it's you, or I don't know, it felt underwhelming. But I really like that. Right as they got outside, he was like, "Before we do anything, he takes his phone, like, give me your number." So that was, I like that. He asked her on a date on Christmas Eve, and they let's do it right now. Sure, but it's not like we have anything else to do on Christmas Eve. And I really like the shot of the church at the end; it's beautiful. So there are some of the things I noted about the movie. I so I'm not gonna say I was bored, but I was underwhelmed. I was underwhelmed with the whole thing. Funny and interesting thing though, I just rewatched um Love at the Thanksgiving Parade. Is that the Autumn Reeser movie about the Thanksgiving parade? I rewatched it on Thanksgiving, and it is called Love at the Thanksgiving Day Parade. Takes place in Chicago as well. So she makes Chicago movies. I Niall was at the Hallmark Christmas experience last weekend, and he was in the panel about the how we make movies, and he talked about working with Autumn, and it seems like it was a really enjoyable project for them. They really liked them, something that really liked the project, and something that they really supported. In another panel, I wasn't there, but I saw a video. He said he added to the kiss when they got out of the elevator. Um, he added that he worked on that scene. So you can see that it's a movie that means a lot to them, and I can understand why, because it was a really good pairing. They were really great together. Um, yeah, I was underwhelmed by the whole thing. I can't tell you what was missing, but something was missing. I rated it at first a 3 out of 5, and then tried, I said no, it's actually a 2.5 out of 5. Um, yeah, kind of wonder. Saw someone saying that it was actually really slow. Yeah, I don't think it was necessarily slow, but all the back and forth. And it's maybe because I was trying to recap it and I had to take notes. I was like, oh God, we're going back to another time or going forward. Yeah, I guess he kind of also was like, oh God, let's move on. I think at some point I kind of felt like let's move on. So the concept was great, the acting was great, the story was great. I was just missing something. That's honestly, I know that's a boring take, and I'm like a whole episode just to say that. I just don't know what else to say. But I wanted to make an episode about each movies. I think what I just said on Letterboxd was that, oh, it's going to be the back and forth between Fast and Prison is going to be fun to recap. Um, but yeah, I mean, it, looking back, so it's been a few days since I've seen it. Looking back, is like it's enjoyable story. It's great acting. It's great producing. It's great all that. I was just missing something. So yeah, that will be it for We Met in December. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube. To subscribe, like, tell me what you thought in the comments, and follow the Instagram at the Hallmark Guy Podcast. The link is in the bio. I post clips on there and like my some and things from my time at the Hallmark Christmas experience, like all the pictures I got with the stars. Andrew Walker noticed me. I got recognized by Andrew Walker and Nikki Loach thanks to the podcast. And Lacey Chabert liked my post, and other stars also like my post. So it's very exciting, and I'm really excited about all that. And I'll post also just Hallmark stuff like programming and stuff like that. So go follow that. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next episode. Bye.